CBS Sports presents the Jeep Postgame Show.
And welcome to the Jeep Postgame Show. I'm Adam Zucker. A reminder, coming up next, Game 2 of our doubleheader, number 9, Auburn and Georgia, between the hedges. In the game you just saw, Florida over South Carolina, 20-7. Gamecocks defense kept them in this game, as I'm joined now by Rick Neuheisel and Brian Jones. Florida, though, still in the driver's seat for that SEC East crown.
Well, you have to like the way Austin Appleby played, 17-21. Remember a year ago as they limped into Atlanta, this obviously gives them a boost as they go to LSU next week offensively.
Well, their defense limped into this one. You lose 2 of your best players on the defense at the linebacker position, Jarrett Davis and also Alex Anzalone, out of this ball game, but yet they were still able to provide constant pressure versus Jake Bentley and the Gamecocks.
And for South Carolina, they get Western Carolina next week. A 6th win gets Will Muschamp a chance to get these youngsters some more practice time in another game.
Yeah, you love your bowls.
I love the words out of postseason, baby.
He loves those ball games. Brian Cox Jr., by the way, leaving this game for the Gators. But Austin Appleby, 17-21. Our John Schriffen with the quarterback after the game.
With all of the emotion of this game on senior day, how were you able to step into the starting quarterback role and take this team under your wing?
I mean, the preparation never changes. You know, whether you got the job, whether you don't. You know, there's an expectation, there's a standard set to where everybody plays to their ability. And, you know, my preparation, being named a starter or not, is always the same. You know, I have the full trust of my teammates, and I'm so proud of them, the way they came out and battled for me and rallied for me, the way our defense played, almost pitching a shutout, you know, and the way that our coaches made a plan. You know, the way that we bounced back this week was huge, and, you know, I'm just so proud of this team. I'm so proud of the way the fans came out and supported us on senior day. You know, it was my first start in the swamp, my last start in the swamp, and it's one I'm never going to forget.
You know, all the talk is about this defense, but your offense had, at times, looked really explosive today. You're going to need that. You've got LSU coming up. What's the plan against those guys?
It's the same thing. We just got to keep getting better every single day. You know, we know what we're capable of. We know that we can be prolific at times. We really can. You know, it's about holding our standard. We know what the Gator way is, and it's doing it every single time.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Saying all the right things when they go from the swamp to the bayou. Can he do all the right things next week?
You know what the definition of good luck is? When opportunity and preparation collide. Here he took advantage of an opportunity provided him, Luke Del Rio down, and he was ready for it. Beautiful effort.
Exactly. He took advantage of this opportunity. The third time to start a ball game, and there was more fluidity once again in that offense. There was more of a up-tempo pace. They were more sure of themselves in this ball game. He hit wide open wide receivers, unlike last week. Now, I don't want to pick on Luke Del Rio, but I am. Prior to his injury, I mean, he couldn't hit the ocean. So this quarterback looked a lot more comfortable than last week's quarterback engineering that Florida offense.
Who couldn't pick up his duffel bag and was still in the game. And Appleby, a couple tough runs early in this game as well to help set the tone. Let us now set the tone for Game 2 of our SEC on CBS doubleheader as we go between the hedges and Jacob Eason and Georgia up against Auburn. One of the best kickers around, actually, right now, Daniel Carson, coming up next year, guys. What are you expecting?
Well, I look at this offensive line for Auburn. Herb Hand has done a fantastic job as the offensive line coach, comes over from Penn State, much maligned at Penn State with all the sacks they allowed, but leading, third in the country right now in rushing totals. Doesn't matter if it's Kerryon Johnson or Petway, they're able to move the rock.
This is run game on run game, but if you look at the numbers, both teams can stop the run. Right now in the country, Georgia's 18th against the run and Auburn's 25th. It's going to see who can control the line of scrimmage today, because that's going to be the
Jacob Eason looked great engineering that game-winning drive for the winning field goal for Georgia last week versus Kentucky. This will be a stiffer test going up against this defense that's only allowing 16 points a game.
A strong Auburn defense. Trey Williams back for this game. Cam Petway with 4 straight 150-yard rushing games, the first Auburn running back to do that since Bo Jackson. Gus Malzahn telling our Allie LaForest a few minutes ago that he is highly unlikely to play in this one. Let's get you caught up on other action from the day so far. And in the SEC, some key games to watch. The Vols needed a win to keep pace with the Gators, or Florida would clinch today, PJ.
So Tennessee Tech didn't count last week, right? Well, Dobbs is going to pick up right where he left off in that one, a 55 to a goose egg last week. 5 total touchdowns, 3 through the air. You see him hit Josh Malone there. How did that ball get through there and 2 be in the ground? Here once again, this is great to see Alvin Kamara back, man. Remember, this guy got hurt in that Alabama ball game. Glad he's back. Big win for the Volunteers.
Yeah, almost. Camaro going through some traffic cones today, and Dobbs with a complete game. We'll see them against Missouri next week on CBS. Now, Florida in control still. The Vols need to win their 2 remaining conference games beyond today and have Florida lose to LSU next week in the famously rescheduled game in order for the East to be theirs. In the West, it's #1 Alabama, and they're not letting Mississippi State get a whiff of another upset today, Rick.
Adam, when you're the #1 team in the country, you like to play like it, especially in front of the home crowd. Look at Ardarius Stewart take the jet sweep, 67 yards to the house. And Jalen Hurts, they kind of unveiled him as a passer today. You can see this strike to the same guy, Ardarius Stewart, right there. And how about some more of Mr. Stewart? This puts it 40-43. They end up winning this game 51-3. But what's important, Hurts' first 300-plus passing game, 4 touchdown passes to go along with 100 yards rushing. Sounds very much like Lamarvelous.
Yeah, exactly. Ardarius Stewart enjoyed it, and Bama 3 more points than they allowed last week as they get their 9th straight 10-win season and in control of the SEC West. Auburn also in control of its destiny as we get set for kickoff against Georgia. The Tigers, they need to beat the Dogs in order to make the Iron Bowl count for all the marbles in the SEC West. Meanwhile, in the Big Ten East, Penn State 5-game winning streak. They're into the top 10, BJ, and into Indiana they go.
Upset alert. Everyone was picking the Hoosiers to win this ball game, and they still may pull off a big upset. But the flea flicker here, you got McSorley to Deshaun Hamilton, then Saquon Barkley finished the deal with the 4-yard touchdown run, but Indy won't go away. Richard Legault, let's go, of a deep one to Nick Westbrook.
And then Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, Barkley once again, his 2nd touchdown. He's been held in check as far as gaudy rushing numbers, but he's gotten in the end zone twice.
You think he's under 2 yards a carry? 30 carries, 58 yards. Indiana's rush defense has been a major story here. Penn State up by 4 with under 4 minutes to go. Now, Penn State needs a lot of help, but what an amazing year it's already been for them. It could be a 10-win season if they can hold on today and win out. They would need Michigan to lose 2 games, including that Ohio State knocker at the end of the year to have a whiff at the East title. But the big win over Ohio State, which has really buoyed James Franklin and Penn State in a comeback today, too. They were down 10 in this game. Oh, Baylor. Number 11, Oklahoma, trying to stay perfect in Big 12 play, facing the Bears.
You remember that Oklahoma team? We kind of gave them up for dead. Well, Baker Mayfield didn't give up. He ends up 20 for 25. You can see a big strike right here to D.D. Westbrook, his favorite go-to guy. 40-yard touchdown there. Then they've got a couple running backs. You've heard of Samaje Perine. How about this guy? Joe Mixon. This is a 56-yard touchdown.
Does he hold on to the football?
Yeah. Hang on. He got across the line. I know you look for those kind of things. Great effort by Oklahoma today. Seth Russell, dislocated ankle for the Bears.
Yeah, a gruesome injury, one so bad we decided it's best you don't see it. But Baylor's now lost 3 in a row, and Oklahoma still perfect in Big 12 play. We'll see if they can crack the top 10. They love conference champions at the CFP. West Virginia, they're in the Big 12. What is going on in the Big 12 today, BJ?
How your mama doing? My mama fine. Yours is too. Hey, Skylar Howard, he's doing fine. How about this? P.I. in the back of the end zone, but that doesn't stop West Virginia from getting the call and the touchdown. Karan White, what a nice catch there. Stay focused on the ball. Here again, West Virginia's Kennedy McCoy takes it from the 3-yard line. 2nd touchdown of the day. Can we get some Texas highlights, man? Everything's all bad. What's up with that? What's up with our producer doing that to me, man? Come on, man. Come on.
Well, you're trailing. Skylar Howard with 3 interceptions, so you're proud of your Texas defense there. But it's still so much to play for. West Virginia, just 1 conference loss. It came to Oklahoma State. They got to keep pace with the Sooners. And Oklahoma right now in control. It'll be Oklahoma against West Virginia next week in the Big 12. As for our game again here, boys, Auburn against Georgia. An Auburn win would tie the all-time series, 56 wins apiece with 8 ties along the way.
I think there's going to have to be a lot of pressure put on Sean White today. I think Sean White's got to come through as a drop-back passer. He's going to have to make all the plays. You just can't count on a rushing game against the number 18 run-stopping defense in Georgia, especially on the road. White's going to have to come up.
Yeah, something's got to give when you talk about that rush defense. Number 3 in the SEC are the Bulldogs, and the number 1 rush offense in the SEC in Auburn. That's going to be the key to this ball game. And Jacob Eason, can he take care of the rock? Once again, a much better test going up against this defense of Kevin Steele than he had last week there in Lexington versus Kentucky.
Not to mention the other defensive coordinator, the Kirby Smart factor, now the head coach of Georgia after years of going up against Auburn in the biggest game of the season often on that schedule. Thank you for watching the Jeep Postgame Show. Remember, it's number 9 Auburn and Georgia. Up next, Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, and Allie LaForce with the call following this word from your local station.